Is Jurassic World Dominion like the worst Jurassic World movie? Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Dinosaur channel. This is your home on the internet for all things dinosaur and prehistoric. And today, I'm going to be giving you a spoiler-filled review of Jurassic World Dominion, my thoughts and opinions. This video will be full of spoilers. It's going to be an actual discussion on the movie, so if you haven't watched Jurassic World Dominion yet, bookmark this video, stop, don't watch now, and come back later after you finish the movie to continue the discussion with me. So let's get right into it. Last night, I got to watch Jurassic World Dominion on an early screening in the 4D cinema at Regal Cinemas. The Dinosaur channel is actually hosting this premiere of Jurassic World Dominion. And then it happened, and we watched Jurassic World Dominion. We entered the cinema and we started this movie, and oh my God, what a ride. Jurassic World Dominion is insane. It's so ambitious, it's so crazy, it's so big. I really feel like, specifically with the 4D, it was very hard to focus on everything that was going on, so I definitely missed some parts there. But overall, the movie, for me, accomplished what I wanted, but it definitely wasn't what I expected. And another thing about Jurassic World Dominion, and I was really sad about this, you'll watch my sort of first impressions video in a few days when I edit it up, of our whole event of Jurassic World Dominion hosting the premiere, and then you'll see my raw reactions right out of the movie theater. But it wasn't what I expected, and also the thing that was the most unfortunate for me was I had the same effect that happened during Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. I was so in the media loop this time around, obviously because I've been creating content around it, but there have been so many YouTubers and influencers that have been so not considerate of the fact that this movie comes out only today, actually, globally, and they have released so many spoilers online, and without even me wanting or looking for spoilers, just going on my YouTube home feed, I was fed spoilers for the movie that spoiled a lot of it. Like, most of the movie to me was either spoiled or I knew the entire plot line going in. I was not surprised in this movie in the slightest, maybe only by the death of Lewis Dodson, which I knew was probably going to happen. I just didn't know how it was going to happen. I was kind of hoping it was a Spinosaurus. The pack of Dilophosaurus was pretty freaking epic, but the entire movie being spoiled really sucked. Like, the fact that I knew the entire plot going in, that's something that really bothered me. And I felt like every scene that was in the trailers, I was hoping for some new scenes that I didn't see, and there were very few new scenes that I didn't see, but a majority of the movie was released in the trailer. It wasn't like what I was hoping for, which was like something like Endgame, like Avengers Endgame or Infinity War, where we didn't have the entire, every single scene or every single area of the movie already given to us in the trailers. Here, literally, the entire movie is in the trailers, and that was a big bummer for me because I wanted a real surprise. I was hoping maybe a Spinosaurus or something, you know? And I was watching with a friend who was a little less in the loop on Jurassic World, and when the Dimetrodons were in the cave and he saw that sail, he was like, Spinosaurus? And I was like, no man, I know it's a Dimetrodon because there's been so much leaked stuff about Alan Grant in a cave with Dimetrodons. And I'm gonna start off like different than every other reviewer. I don't want to start off only with the good things because that's too fun. I want to be a little controversial, a little edgy. Like, one of the problems is definitely the pacing of the movie. It's insane. I feel like the effect of the animatronic dinosaurs and the dinosaurs themselves, it just, don't have a single moment in the movie where you get to appreciate the dinosaurs for what they are and the prehistoric creatures. The fact that the Quetzalcoatlus barely ever shows up again, I mean, in one ending scene, other than the attack scene in the plane, and that we saw that full thing online, that sucks. Like, I wish we got more of the Quetzalcoatlus. The fact that the Pyroraptor scene is only that scene that we see online, and the full scene is pretty much online minus maybe 30 seconds after that he gets tased. That sucks. The fact that all those scenes with dinosaurs, a lot of them were very rushed, very quick. Like, even the fighting sequences, the underground market in Malta where the baby dinosaurs are there, it's like minus like a 30 seconds of the attack that kills the character, which I'm forgetting his name already because he was so unimportant to this plot of the movie. You know, other than that, we saw that whole underground market scene. I saw pretty much everything. I pieced together the entire thing through the trailers and various media clips that were released online. So that's just kind of unfortunate, is all that. Like, I really did want some moments there with the Jurassic Park theme song playing in full blast and appreciating the music. Even the fight at the end, you know, while the fight was happening the entire time, I was basing in my head, I was like, okay, we're having another epic giant dinosaur fight. Therizinosaurus versus Giga versus T-Rex. For some reason, the T-Rex and the Therizinosaurus have zero desire to fight each other. No territorial issues there. Just the Giga. And they just know that they need to kill the Giga. Like, what was that? I didn't really understand the concept of that. And the whole time I was comparing it to the battle between the Indominus Rex, T-Rex, and Mosasaurus. And I think and Blue, obviously. And I think overall that was a way better choreographed fight than this one. I need to watch the movie again, but in my first impressions, I think that fight from Jurassic World is a way better fight than the Jurassic World Dominion fight. And another thing, and this is something I saw another fellow YouTuber, Jurassic YouTuber, his name is Swerve. He was talking about it in his review yesterday, and I watched the review, and I agree on this point wholeheartedly. The placing of the title on the Giganotosaurus as the Joker, and like he wants to see the world burn, nope. That is not what happens in this movie at all. The Giga is one of the least intense, least scary dinosaur villains we have had in this entire franchise. I wasn't scared. He wasn't scary. Like, it wasn't scary at all. He was like a big bunny, you know? Like, he was not coordinated. He was not good at killing people. He literally didn't kill one. Not one. I don't think he killed one person. Maybe he killed one person and I missed it within all the chaos, but he definitely didn't kill any of our main characters. Not Dr. Wu, not Ian Malcolm, not Alan Grant, not Ellie Sattler, not Claire, not Maisie, not Chris Pratt, not Kayla Watts. Nobody died from him. No, there was no stakes to having him in the movie, and that really sucked because I was hoping, it's like, all right, we had hybrids. We're showing how terrible these hybrids are, how intense they are, and then we go into the Giga, and the Giga, it's just a Giga. It doesn't really do anything. So that was a little bit unfortunate. But now I don't want to crap on the movie too much because I did love Jurassic World Dominion. I do love Jurassic World Dominion. And I don't want you to think that the entire time I was thinking is Jurassic World Dominion like the worst Jurassic World movie? That's not what I was thinking. That's not where my brain was at all. But I will say that, like, you know, just like Fallen Kingdom, when I first saw the movie the first time, I didn't know how to feel. I think there's a lot of people who are big Jurassic Park fans. You just don't know how to feel because it's finally it's finally the movie, and you've been waiting for it, and it happens, and you're kind of like, whoa, I don't know how to feel about this. But let's talk about the positives. For one, Kayla Watts, oh my god, like, one of my new favorite characters for this franchise. She was awesome. She nailed the scene, besides me being very attractive to her. Like, she was so good at playing the role. I loved all her lines. I loved her character. I loved the way her character flowed into the movie. I loved her relationship with Maisie and how that tied into the plot. I loved how she behaved with the new cast, with the legacy cast. It was awesome, really well executed as a new character. Ramsey, I felt like I didn't appreciate him enough in the beginning of the movie because I thought he was going to be a throwaway character that would get killed. But the way that he works into the plot by helping Ian Malcolm, or actually being the one to orchestrate the plot with Ian Malcolm and help the legacy characters get the DNA for these stupid locusts, was cool, and I really liked him. At the end of the movie, I appreciated him a lot more than I did in the beginning of the movie. As for the legacy characters, they killed it. They nailed it. The way that they were tied into the movie, their acting, Laura Dern, Alan Grant, Ellie Sattler, Alan Grant, Ian Malcolm, they nailed it. Ian Malcolm was Ian Malcolm from the first Jurassic Park. He wasn't Lost World. He wasn't Fallen Kingdom Ian Malcolm. He was Ian Malcolm from Jurassic Park. Like, they literally plopped him right out of the movie. Alan Grant nailed his character. It was as if he never left the franchise. He was, like, right on beat. The accent was a little weird at times, is not what I remembered, but he's also aged significantly since, so maybe that has changed a little bit. Laura Dern, Ellie Sattler's character was perfect. It was nailed perfectly. And you know, what I was really hoping for is what I experienced watching Avengers Endgame. I watched that in New York City opening week, and everybody was super hyped on the movie. And I got a little bit of that last night, where every time the characters showed up on screen, everybody was cheering, and it was so much fun. Like, that aspect was really, really fun. When Ellie Sattler came on screen, everyone in the theater was like, whoa! And then Alan Grant, the way that they introduced the legacy characters, phenomenal. Maisie, loved her in this movie. She did a great job acting. Like, the character itself fitting into itself was fantastic. The way that she develops through the movie and realizes what's important, especially when it comes to her parents caring for her and the world around her, I really appreciate it, and I can definitely see. And the fact that we get some closure on who her mom was, and and how she came to be and her relationship with Dr. Wu is great. This is something I saw in other reviews as well. Dr. Wu not dying is a bit of a bummer because we didn't lose anyone, and you know, I am very inspired by this. Now, I'm a person who likes very fluffy movies. I don't want my heart ripped out. I don't want to, like, Game of Thrones took me on a roller coaster trip where, like, every time you fall in love with a character, they kill him. But it taught me that that is necessary to keep you sort of hooked on the series. This franchise, you know, like, Ian Malcolm had a great opportunity to die via the Giganotosaurus, and nothing happened. Like, and that was kind of a bummer. And so BD Wong's character, while Henry Wu had awesome closure, I liked the closure at the end of the movie that we got from him. The fact that he didn't die, and he really did deserve to die, even towards the end of the movie. Like, he did a good service at the end, but people in Jurassic die for way less. Like, that poor guy on the Segway, he died for no reason. It was a brutal death. He died for no reason. It would have been nice to have a death from a legacy character in there. I don't necessarily want Ian Malcolm to die because I'd like the opportunity for him to come back in the future, but how many more times are these characters going to realistically be able to come back for a Jurassic? Is it going to mean anything to us anymore? Let's talk about the animatronics. There were so many dinosaurs in this movie, it's hard to wrap your head around. Morris Intrepidus, oh my god, it was so good. The little that they used them in the movie was fantastic. It's like they have a scene in Central Park or in like Washington, D.C. at the end of the movie where they're petting some Morris Intrepidus in the park, and then Morris Intrepidus in the little habitat thing, like a meerkat. Oh my god, it's the cutest little thing in the world. I love it so much. It's my favorite. And we do have a quick dive coming out on the Morris Intrepidus on this channel relatively soon, so keep an eye out. Make sure you subscribe. But that, man, that Morris Intrepidus was fantastic. Again, a lot of the scenes with the dinosaurs were rushed, and we didn't really get to appreciate them. Like the sauropods, for example, Patasaurus, Dreadnoughtus, Brachiosaurus, I didn't get to appreciate them at all. I'm happy that they were in the movie, and they looked phenomenal for the scenes that they were in the movie, but I didn't really get to appreciate them like we did in a lot of the other movies. I'll also say, like, Lenny, the Lystrosaurus, and the Microceratus, I was hoping for more scenes with them. I was hoping that they would be used more, and their animatronics really looked animatronic. Like, you could very much tell that this was an animatronic. And I was hoping to see them in a bigger context, so that was kind of a bummer. But again, they looked beautiful. Like, the animatronics looked fantastic. Dilophosaurus, for me, I've seen a lot of complaints online. Nailed it. It's a different Dilophosaurus in the original Jurassic Park. That's a given. But oh my god, the two scenes that they had with it, they did such a good job. The hype up, man, when it goes quiet and Claire's like starting to hyperventilate a little bit, and you hear the of the Dilophosaurus. I don't know what that sound was. Oh my god, dude, I slapped my friend. I was like, strap in, buddy, because he didn't know the sound of the Dilophosaurus by heart. And of course, a Jurassic Park fan, you know exactly what it is. Slapped him. I was like, you strap in, you get ready right now because it's about to go off. What I didn't like was Chris Pratt grabbing one by the neck and choking it out with its own venom, and then Kayla was tasing it. I was like, this is just like, we're making Chris Pratt a superhero. I guess he kind of is, but it's just like, that is the next level. That takes away everything from Jurassic Park. Like, in Jurassic Park, never would that have happened. Even in the Lost World, never would that happen. Like, to grab a dinosaur, a full-on dinosaur, within a pack of dinosaurs, by the neck, choke it, and then tase it? Like, nah, bro. That's too much. I feel like that's next level. But again, overall, I love that scene, and I love the way that the Dilophosaurus has killed Lewis Dodson. It's the most appropriate callback death possible. The Barbasol can, all of it ties in. Magnifique. It was perfect. I loved it very, very much. And of course, I'll talk about my big baddie baby, the Therizinosaurus. Honestly, girl, you single-handedly held up this movie on your back. I love you too. The Therizinosaurus is the coolest new addition to this franchise I can even think of. They nailed it. Again, it looks very Jurassic-y, but the entrance into the scene, the couple shots that we have that were not released online of the Therizinosaurus, I love her. Amazing. I love that she's unreasonably aggressive and defensive towards a deer and just slaps that baby out of there. Love that so much. Love you really get a sense of scale. It was the only moment in the movie where I feel like I had a sense of scale and awe from a dinosaur. Even with the Giga, the way that it's introduced, I feel like it looks small in all of the scenes. You don't really get a sense of scale like you do in Jurassic Park with the size, especially with the T-Rex. Any other carnivore that was in this movie, I didn't feel scared, maybe besides the Pyroraptor, for the characters. With the Therizinosaurus, when he's coming alongside Claire there, and you see the size of its head compared to Claire sitting in the chair, I was like, that's it. They nailed it right there. That was how you do the introduction to a dinosaur. You get the awe, you get the fear, you start wondering. I was even thinking, are they making the Therizinosaurus a carnivore? Because the way that he slapped the deer and then came close, I was like, oh, they're making him a carnivore. And then they make a point to show him eating plants. It was like, this is a very Jurassic scene. This felt very, very callbacky, the way that they introduced this dinosaur, and I loved it. The Therizinosaurus was the best dinosaur introduction to the movie franchise. In my opinion, my favorite dinosaur introduced through Jurassic World, through all three movies. Therizinosaurus through Camp Cretaceous. Therizinosaurus takes the cake, really. It was phenomenal. It was the best of the best. The creme de la creme of this movie was the Therizinosaurus for me. The baby Nasutoceratops animatronic in the beginning of the movie and the way that the movie opens up, it made me really happy. I like the goofiness to it. I will say that, again, the animatronic suffered a little bit. I don't know what to say. It's like you could just really tell. I think what the magic was in the first couple movies is that the interaction that you had with the dinosaurs was not like, ooh, let me cuddle you and pet you and we're so close to each other. It was like a lot of fear and running, and the shots were shot in a way where you didn't really get to stare at the animatronics for a prolonged period of time. And if you did, it was mixed in with CGI footage to sort of mess with your brain and make you think a little bit. And I think other than the Giganotosaurus, the rest of the animatronics in the movie, you could tell that they were animatronics pretty easily. Especially for me, the Dimetrodon, like the Dimetrodon scene in the cave, it was a pretty dead giveaway that this was animatronic. For the parts that were animatronic, and dead giveaway that the parts are CGI. I'm not complaining. I still loved it. If you're a kid, which is this is what these movies are for, really, is children. It's awesome. They did a great job. And let's talk about the Dimetrodon scene in the caves. I got mixed feelings about this because it was really epic going in. The jump scare was fantastic. The way that Alan Grant falls to the ground, I felt like it was a callback to Tim falling off the electric fence. I did really enjoy that part. I just wish we got to see the Dimetrodon in a little bit of light. I do also appreciate that we didn't get to see the Dimetrodon in any light because it probably would look worse. Not saying that it looked bad by any means like that, but you know, every time, I think the magic in Jurassic Park is a lot of the scenes in The Lost World and Jurassic Park, the original, is that we got to see these dinosaurs in a dark environment. So we didn't get to nitpick on the details of them. And I think they played that safe with the Dimetrodon. It's just, Dimetrodon is an animal that's been fed to me in all media for my entire life in a sunny, open desert, not in a cave. And honestly, selling it to me in a cave, this animal with a giant sail on its back, living inside of a cave, it's a hard pill for me to swallow, to break that down. I think if I watch the movie a few more times, I'm definitely going to appreciate that for what it is. It's difficult. It's a hard pill to swallow for sure. I'm like, I want to see the Dimetrodon basking in the sunlight, not attacking people in a cave. Like, it's just what I want to see. But that being said, its inclusion in the movie is so cool. It's so awesome. And also, Laura Dern, Ellie Sattler's character, hints there in the movie that all people care about, all people talk about is dinosaurs. They don't make a point to worry about the implications of other things that have been cloned, which definitely gives us an indication of saber-toothed tiger, mammoth, you know, things like gorgonopsids, synapsids like Dimetrodon. It gives us that possibility to explore those options in the future, which is awesome. And the last thing I want to note about is like this whole branding of the conclusion of the Jurassic franchise and where this is going next. Okay, one, I don't like that this movie didn't have an end scene credit because I feel like the fact that they've been hyping us up that there will be more movies, more series, all that stuff that's coming out, the fact that we didn't have a little post-credit scene at all was kind of a bummer because you didn't do it for Jurassic World, you did it for Fallen Kingdom, now you're not going to do it for Dominion. It's like, come on, give us something. You know, we've been such loyal fans, we've been waiting. You know that it's really just the hardcore fans that are going to stay there at the end. So, like, give us a little nugget, give us something to look forward to know that you're not going to leave us hanging for the next 15 years. I feel like a lot of Jurassic fans like me have this PTSD, like anxiety about this franchise going away now for a long time. It's throughout the whole movie, half the time I was thinking, was like, man, this is the last time we're going to see this. This is the last time this is happening. This is the last time we're going to see them. And the other side of my brain is like, no, they promised you they're coming back. They promised you they are going to continue. And I've been seeing such harsh criticism of Jurassic World Dominion online. A majority of the criticism I've seen has not been good. And that's unfortunate because it was a good movie. It was a great movie. It was a fantastic movie and it served all the points. It struggled because it's such an ambitious movie, but so did Avengers Endgame. Avengers Endgame was not a perfectly executed movie. It was insane and the plot lines were crazy. But overall, it's one of the best movies of all time. You enjoy it so much because it's so much fun. It wraps up, it concludes something for you. I feel the same way about Jurassic World Dominion. Like, it's not a perfect movie. It's never gonna live up to Jurassic Park. It's not supposed to. It's supposed to conclude our story and build up to something else. And it serves that purpose perfectly. It doesn't execute everything perfectly, but it serves its purpose perfectly. And that's one of the things that I appreciate about it. I appreciate the filmmakers, the actors, everyone for coming back and giving me that nugget. But I wish that we got a little nugget to look forward to towards the end, because now we're sitting ducks and we're waiting and we're waiting and we're waiting, and who knows if it's going to be 3 years, 5 years, 10 years down the line until we get something new. That part sucks a little bit, but overall, I'm pretty certain at this point that money talks and they're going to give us something because they're making too much money on this franchise anyways. So again, that whole branding as a conclusion of the franchise, we left it really open-ended. I will say one other thing that really bothered me was I don't feel like this was that world-building movie that they promised us. We followed the same exact beats as Fallen Kingdom in a sense of, we start off the movie, we're moving around a lot from a lot of different places, and then we settle into the Dolomite Mountains to the Biosyn Valley, and we stay there for the whole movie. We stay there for the entirety of the movie, and it's like a good hour where we're just only there and nothing else. We don't get to see many dinosaurs attacking people. We don't see any dinosaurs in cities beyond Malta. They're trying to sell us on this idea that people have just become content with living with dinosaurs and prehistoric creatures. And I didn't buy it from the movie because there weren't enough. I feel like there weren't enough dinosaurs throughout the world that we were shown. There were a lot of dinosaurs, but they all had involvement with people. There weren't like wild dinosaurs everywhere like I felt like we were promised. And that's something that was a little unfortunate. But then again, it's only been 4 years after. So if we now time jump even more into the future and we have people riding Parasaurolophuses and bow hunting Pyroraptors from the back of one, maybe that's where we're heading. I don't know. Overall, I'm not complaining about this movie. It was fantastic. I loved Jurassic World Dominion. It was so good. It served every purpose for me. It did it right. I feel content with the ending of the movie. I just need to watch it a few more times to really understand what I saw and settle into it. Same way that I did with Fallen Kingdom. Hopefully going to go watch it again this weekend and then maybe a few more times next week before I leave the United States, because I am leaving the United States relatively soon. But guys, thank you so much for joining me with my sort of spoiler review of Jurassic World Dominion. Definitely look forward to my experience of watching it for the first time and hosting the premiere at Regal Cinemas, which is going to be coming very, very soon. And I'll see you guys in the next one. If you do want to support this channel, you can by becoming a member on the channel right now. It'll go a long way to supporting the Dinosaur channel, and we'd appreciate it very, very much. So we'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.